Now, there's a huge difference between raising a teenager and raising a child. It's so easy having to raise children. They come to you for almost everything. You make almost all the decisions. They ask you, they take permissions before they do things. But when they become teenagers, they begin to want to express their independence. They want to take decisions themselves. They see you as somebody that is not so knowledgeable all of a sudden, and this can be a little bit of a challenge. And that's why a lot of parents have issues with their teenagers that at the end of the day ends up affecting their relationships. So if you're raising a teenager and you're having this kind of challenge, here are 7 ways you can connect with your teenager or improve your relationship better. Number one is to talk to them. Now, in talking to them, you must try as much as possible not to be a boring parent because, truth be told, whether you like it or not, a lot of teenagers see their parents as old school. So, if you're going to talk to them and they will listen, you have to make sure that you're saying things that excite them. You have to make sure that you know the challenges that children or teenagers face. If you're going to talk to them, you'll talk about issues like sex, you talk about issues like relationships, you talk about drugs, you talk about podcasts, you talk about social media, and a whole lot of issues that teenagers find interesting, right? Number two is to find a common ground. Now, when we say find a common ground, you didn't just become an adult suddenly. You were once a teenager and you also faced majority of these challenges. Like I always tell the teenagers around me, I tell them that these challenges are not new. Life is like a game. The game remains the same. The rules of the game remains the same, but the players change from generation to generation. So no matter the challenges you're going through, that your parents have been there, let them know. So, it will help you connect better if you share the challenges that you went through when you were their age. If you share the red flags that you ignored, the mistakes that you made, and the consequences that you had to face. Now, you will do yourself a world of good not to lie. All right. Try to be as real as possible so that your children can come to a place where they trust you. And when you share all of these things with your children, it breaks the communication barrier. Your children begin to relax. And over time, you become a go to person because they know that you have been there. They have an understanding now that whatever it is they are coming to share with you, you will have positive contributions. You will have something positive to say about it because you understand exactly how. And that way, your relationship with your children or your teenager will continue to get better. Number three is to listen to them. Try as much as possible not to always be in a hurry to proffer solutions. Whenever your children, your teenagers get to the point where they begin to trust you and they begin to confide in you gradually, or they begin to share how their day went or their interactions with their friends, one thing you should um, try as much as possible not to do is don't be in a hurry to judge them, don't be in a hurry to blame them, don't be in a hurry to proffer solutions. Just listen, be a listening parent. That way they will pour out more and more and more. All right, so pay attention to whatever it is they have to say. Even no matter how you feel what they're saying is insignificant, it is important to them. And as such, if you want to connect better, it should also be important to you. Listen attentively to your children.